Hey, this is Sal McGee with YETicket.com, where the film I'm going to talk about right now is called The Electrical Life of Louis Wain. Who is Louis Wain? Well, Louis Wain was an artist. He drew a lot of pictures about cats. Well, why you want to learn something about this guy named Louis Wain who drew cats? Because it's kind of interesting. I really enjoyed the film. Now, Benedict Cumberbatch plays Louis Wain. He also produces this film also. And this is directed by Will Sharp. Now, Louis Wain was a very interesting guy to learn about. First of all, when he drew his drawings and things, he used two hands. Two hands. I really haven't seen any artist do that. And, and he's also, when he interacted with people, he was a very nice guy, but sometimes he was very mysterious too. He had a cleft lip and he grew a mustache to cover it up. A little bit about his family. Well, Louis Wain, his father was a very good moneymaker. He was an entrepreneur and he made lots of money. He did. He protected his family. He made sure his family had everything. They had 6 kids. I'm talking about Louis's father and mother. 6 kids. Louis was the son, and he had 5 sisters. But what happens is this: his father dies. Louis is not making a lot of money with his drawings. He barely has a job. So the family's going broke because Louis has to take care of his 5 sisters and his ailing mother. His mother, she was older. She didn't work. Remember, back there in the late 1800s, early 1900s, in London, in England, it's hard for a woman to get a job. It really is. It's really hard. People don't want to hire women back then at that time. And like I said, this is the late 1800s, early 1900s. So eventually, one of his sisters suffered from mental illness. But Louis himself, he has mental problems too. He has these recurrent nightmares. I mean, nightmares. And not only that, the way he relates to people, he just let people walk all over him and cheat him out of money and things like that. He didn't understand money. The family's always going broke, and he always had the family struggling because he was the only one. He had to take care of his sisters. He hired a governess. Her name was Emily, to help, the sisters to learn some things so they can be attracted to men. But what happens? He fell in love with her. Her name was Emily. And, well, they got married. And Emily taught him how to be comfortable with himself and also how he can relax and things like that, and also understand himself. That's what, she did for him. Clara Ford plays Emily, his wife, the woman she loved. So one day they were in their backyard. He moved from his sisters while he was married to Emily. And in that backyard, they found a cat. Yeah, a lovely cat. Took it in the house. Now, people started talking about him because people don't keep cats back at that time. But what happens? He started to draw cats. That's what he did. He did dogs, bulldogs in the beginning. He worked for a newspaper. In fact, Sir William Ingram gave him a job with the newspaper. And that's played by the great Toby Jones. I really enjoy his acting. And next thing you know, well, people bought all these pictures, but he didn't make a lot of money because people kept cheating him. And also people copyrighted his stuff when he should have done it himself. He didn't do it himself. And he had a lot of problems mentally. He went to New York, but he couldn't take it there in New York. He just couldn't take it. It was too much for him. It really was. And he really wasn't making any money in New York. He didn't know how, but people took money from him, took advantage of him. And why it's called Electrical Life of Louis Wain, well, he felt that cats had this type of electricity in their body and things like that. And he was always, looking at other ways to make life better. But eventually, he developed mental illness. They put him away, and eventually he died. Now, this film will be on Amazon Prime, Amazon Video, November 5th. So watch it on Amazon. It is at the theaters, but I couldn't tell you what theaters it's at and what city it's in. Probably in the major cities like New York and LA for Academy Award possibilities. I will admit that knowing this knowledge of Louis Wain, I've seen his drawings, pictures of it, and things like that over the years. I never knew who he was, and I'm glad to see this film. I'm giving it 3 palm trees out of 4. 3 palm trees out of 4. It's a very interesting story. The electrical life of Louis Wain. Hey, watch it for yourself, but let me know, what do you think about it? And thanks for watching my review of Mal McGee at YEticket.com. I really appreciate it.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest movie reviews.